Hi Warwick, this is the first in a series of videos we're going to be putting out to you explaining the inner workings of the city. My media coordinator Liz Tufts did a great job on this and you're going to find it very informative.
That's right, Mayor. We're breaking down everything you need to know about sanitation here in Warwick, including what you can and cannot put inside these bins right behind me, why the city recycles to begin with, and the fee the city could face if you don't recycle properly. It's a typical trash day in the city of Warwick, but before these bins can be emptied, there's some important information you need to know. First off, why does the city recycle to begin with?
We recycle because it's good for the environment to start. The more we recycle, the less ends up in the landfill.
Eric Earls is the Director of Public Works here in Warwick. He says not only is it a plus for the environment, recycling ends up saving us money in the long run.
The other piece is that economically, it's important for the city to recycle because the city doesn't pay for recycled items to be disposed of. Whereas with trash, any kind of municipal solid waste that goes up to Johnston, we pay as much as $90 per ton. And that's why the city's trash budget is around $1.2 to $1.3 million a year. So by increasing our recycling rate, we can save as much as $60,000 to $70,000 a year.
Before the city switched over to an automated single-stream recycling system with Rhode Island Resource Recovery back in 2012, the way we recycled was much different.
Warwick first started their automated trash collection. Rhode Island Resource Recovery, where we send our trash, they didn't have the capability to take single stream recycling. So they wanted everybody to separate their glass, metals, metal, plastic from their paper products. So that's why originally you got your green bin that was for paper and cardboard, and your blue bin was for glass, plastic, metals.
But now the recycling facility has been renovated and upgraded, meaning the machines can sort out the paper, the metal, and the glass individually.
Which is why now it's called single stream, so that all of our recycling, whether you put it in the green bin or the blue bin, goes to the same place.
With that said, you still need to follow a set of rules.
So we should never put recycling in trash bags or in plastic bags. The reason is that trash bags and plastic bags like this one are not recyclable. And the other issue with them is with the new resource recovery facility, the recycling goes through a series of conveyor belts and gears and pulleys and magnets that all separate the glass, the metals, the paper products. And when these go through those systems, they tend to get clogged up in the gears, which makes a big mess. So if you put your recycling into plastic bags or trash bags, they're going to view that as containing household waste and potentially call the load contaminated. Now, a contaminated load of recycling costs the city $250 every time, and that whole load of recycling, even if there's just a couple products that cause it to be contaminated, that whole truckload of recycling will get slid over into the trash pile, and then the city will be charged for trash rather than having to be able to dispose of the recycling for free.
Last year alone, the city had 117 rejected loads. That ended up costing the city $250 per load and a fee from Resource Recovery.
Essentially, that fee is for them to slide the material from the recycled pile over to the trash pile. Those loads, with the fee and the fact that now we have to pay for them as trash, cost the city approximately $80,000 last year.
So what is classified as a rejected or contaminated load?
Pizza boxes have always kind of fell into a tricky area. They said no, then they said yes. Now the protocol is that if there's a little bit of grease on the pizza box, you can recycle them. But if there's a lot of food byproducts, sauce or cheese or things like that, then those should go in your regular trash. And similar with any other container that has food products on it. If you're recycling glass or aluminum or plastic containers, all of those containers should be at least emptied, ideally rinsed before they go into your recycling. Styrofoam cannot be recycled. The reason that it can't be recycled is primarily air. 95% of styrofoam is just air, so there's really no market for it to be recycled, so that should go in your regular trash.
And coming up next week in part 2 of our sanitation series, we're going more in depth about what you can and cannot recycle, why trash pickup can sometimes get delayed, and what happens if these bins go missing. For City Hall, I'm Liz Tufts.